mean, it goes into something that you talk about a lot, which is that you have right and left, and then the media act as if this kind of center position is, well, non-ideological.
Yeah. Well, in large part, it's because the media is an industry and represents, an industrial interest that prior to 87 and the Fairness Doctrine being done away with, and 96 and Bill Clinton signing the Telecommunications Act, there was at least a portion of the media called news that was sacrosanct. I mean, I worked in news back in the 70s. I did news for 7 years. And in the station where I worked, if I was caught talking to a salesperson, one of us would lose our jobs. I mean, it was just, there was this absolute firewall. And the news was the news. It was the cost of maintaining the license. This radio station in Lansing, Michigan, it was the #1 station in the city, but that's still a medium market. We had 7 people in our news department. We lost money on news because that was the cost of maintaining a license. Those days are gone, and now instead of news, we have infotainment. And we have infotainment that serves the interests of the large corporations, at least one of which is one of the largest defense contractors in the country, that own the media companies. So, of course, they're going to be presenting their infotainment that they call news with a spin, with a bias, with a subtext, a message that is entirely in sync with the rest of corporate America. When somebody has a title after their name, like NBC analyst or CBS analyst or whatever, that typically means that they get $2,500 or some variation thereof every single time they go on television. And if they can appear 3 or 4 times a week or 6 or 8 times a day or whatever, they can make some pretty good money. Even that skews what they're saying, because they're going to say the things that they know that the corporation wants said, that the news, I mean, it's just the whole idea of unbiased news has been blown apart in the last 30 years.
Tom, when you go on those shows, and we should say you're going to be on one very soon, we're very excited about it, you're going to be debating John Stossel, I can hardly wait, they will describe you very clearly as liberal talk radio host. They don't describe Barry McCaffrey as, employee of the gun sellers.
No, because again, go to theyrule.net, which is this extraordinary website that shows who's on the board of the directors of all the corporations in America, and you can take any 3 or 4 corporations, bring them up, get their boards, and see how they interlock, people who are on multiple boards. And you can literally, in one of my books on equal protection, I took 100 corporations and just created this round robin from IBM to IBM, through all the defense companies, through all the entertainment companies, through all the food companies, right across it. Every single one of them is linked somehow to another. What we have is a military, industrial, media, government complex. It's all morphed into one giant thing. It's Mussolini's cameo de fascisio corporationes, when he replaced Parliament with the chamber of the fascist corporations and said, we're not going to have elected representatives representing the people in particular counties anymore. We're going to have the largest corporation representing the people in those counties. I mean, that's literally the direction we're moving in. That's called fascism. You talk about that out in public. It's not very fashionable, and certainly any analyst, anybody who's getting that regular paycheck from the networks to be on TV, that would be the last time that they'd ever be on if they used that word.